All right, perfect. So we are here. So this is higher right. Yeah, I've dealt with them before. We'll do applicant center. All right, let's go down. What are your concerns?
Okay, so this one, education transcripts, right? The diploma part or the bachelor's degree, right? Us putting
Mhm.
that on the resume to get more traction. Obviously it worked, but now if they request this, that's my concern. And I know you said sometimes just leave out
Yeah, it doesn't
that in
matter.
your background check, but it says this too. So it's like, do I just change my resume real quick? I don't know.
Yeah, that's an option. Let's see what they actually ask. Like they up front they ask for a bunch of bullshit. So let's see what they're actually asking. So and you can always like you don't have to complete the form in one sitting. You can always just like uh
Come
go back
back.
to it. Funny anecdote, right now on my job 9, I had to do a background check with higher right, and they were asking for I think I don't remember the exact information. They were asking like I sent them something, they requested more info, I sent it back, and they requested more info again. And so I just left them, like I haven't responded and nothing has happened. Like I started my work, like nobody has said anything about it. I haven't even gotten any more emails from them. So this again, this is like background checks are just like a bunch of computers, literally bots. Like no human is looking at anything here. So you can even like just kind of ignore, if they request more documents, like you can just leave it and leave it for later and see if they actually require it. Because again, this is kind of the same principle of dealing with human resources or basically ridiculous bullshit requests from your employer. If it's really important, they're going to remind you until you comply. If it's not important, they'll maybe remind you one time, maybe even 2 times. But after you ignore them for a very long period of time, they're just gonna forget. They're just gonna keep going. Okay. So all right, let's go here. All right, let's keep going down. Yeah. Don't worry, I'm gonna censor out all your personal information in the video.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Contact information, blah blah blah. All right. 1, 2, blah,
oh
identification.
yeah.
All right. All right, so you filled out your personal information, candidate self-report information. Have you ever been convicted of, okay, no. Next. Current employer, actually just mark, I do not have a current employer to report. The checkbox, yeah. So stupid.
These ones I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, so just have that you can leave them. I have actually just taken up the practice of saying I do not have a previous employer, like don't report any employers. And that's pretty much
None. Oh, okay.
none. Yeah, certify, you have to certify, you have to click it twice. Yeah, you can do that, and because they have to deal with the information that you're willing to disclose. Okay. So if you don't really care, all right, so let me put it like this. I do this because I like to fuck with employers, right? Like I like to fuck with people like this, right? And like I don't care if I whatever happens, I don't care. I got 9 jobs, it's fine. But you might want to leave the previous employer, if you don't really care, then you can just leave the previous employer on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me play devil's advocate here too. And I've seen people talk about this.
Mhm.
So they say background check is supposedly a federal form, right?
Mhm.
So if you lie about anything within here, it's a crime, right?
Mm,
So
No,
what's your thoughts on that?
no, background checks are private enterprise, history checks. You are not dealing with the government, you're dealing with some private enterprise. This is all private business. That is not correct. Like maybe if you're dealing with with a government agency and they like
Okay.
a government agency is doing a background check on you, then yes, like don't ever lie to the government. Well, yeah, okay.
No.
Try not to lie to the government. And try not to lie to the government, but this is a private interest. Like the background check companies, they have no, I mean, Equifax and that sort of stuff, and like all these companies may have, they may be all chummy with some government agencies and that sort of stuff, but it's usually like, no, it's usually all private corporations.
Mhm.
There's nothing here about that. And as a matter of fact, like, you're probably not gonna see anything like, like you're gonna commit perjury here, like, no, it doesn't matter. So yeah, and if you leave, so the reason why, there's a difference. Again, there's a difference between me, kind of like the master, the guru, screwing up, like playing around, running experiments. I usually just say like, no, I don't have any work history, and nothing happens. But with you, we want to have a coherent story, right? Like, you want to have a story to tell. And so the story is, if they ask you anything, it's like, yeah, I just filled it out. Like, I'm not working anywhere right now. Like, whatever you want to say, like, I was let go. I don't have a current employer. I only have past employers. And that's it.
Now,
Because
do
remember,
these agencies, do they get provided my resume though?
no, that's why they're asking it. If they already had it, they wouldn't be requesting it. And
Okay.
nobody has the time to, again, no human is gonna look at this. Like, they're not gonna have a person looking at this, or no thoughtful human is gonna conduct a thorough search of this, or a thorough a comparison of this. There's not gonna be a guy like with your resume on like one screen and the form on another screen. You're just a guy. If you were the CEO, then yeah, maybe, okay, like maybe they would do something like that. But you're not the CEO, you're just some guy. You're just a guy that's gonna go in. They just want to make sure that you are not a criminal, that you are not a weirdo, that you don't have any particular red flag. So it's not like they're gonna have like compare your resume, like they're gonna have a guy like, there's an inconsistency here, the dates don't match. It doesn't matter. Right. But again,
Yeah.
like you said, like past work history usually is not a problem. We want to protect the current employer at all costs. All right, your current job one, especially because you have a very good job one, we want to protect it. And so, like, if they don't even know about it, if it's not even mentioned, it is on your resume, but if it's not here, they're not even gonna look into it.
Now, okay, a couple things though. Wouldn't the employer get a report that shows that they confirmed this other job? Um, wouldn't they get a report that says that, or
Yeah, the report is gonna basically say, like, the report is gonna have some information, but it's gonna say something like, yeah, he's good, like we didn't find any red flags, whatever. Again, this is all very routine. This is all very autopilot type of stuff. Okay. And the other thing is that because you're going from one job to two, it just looks like you're changing jobs. So there's literally no possible red flag that could come up. You could have some concern when going from J2 to J3, but like I told, like, I have 9 jobs. Like, this is all a joke. It's a gigantic, big joke. So I understand your concerns. I understand this is scary. That's why you have the call with me to go over this.
yeah,
But no, it's like you're going from one job to two. It just looks like you're changing jobs. To be extra careful, which is always, it's free basically. We hide your current employer so that they don't go around poking at it or sending messages or anything, talking to them. But past employment, we can freely do. We can give them the past employment. Okay.
well, and I would say too, if someone did like have to share their current employer, I mean, dude, when they call the HR, are they really saying, "Hey, I'm doing a background check for a new job"? They would just say, "Did this person work here?" Because
Yes.
my wife, she used to work admin work, and she got these calls all the time, and she was telling me they never said what it was for. They just wanted to confirm the employment.
That's right. And
So
so if employers, how do I put this? Employers don't want to expose themselves that they're poaching other people from companies. Okay, so it would be impossible to hire anybody that's currently working if the background check process expose the guy that he's looking for another job. You know what I mean? So they tried that. That's why I've been able to get away with, like, I don't have previous employer to report. I don't have a current employer to report, because they just go like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever. Let's go with whatever public records there are of this guy. Okay. Now, after you start job number two, go read my guide on background checks, because you're gonna now, starting now, gonna have freeze the work number and freeze your data on some other sites. The guide that's included has, you know, all the steps, like all that you wanna cover. Right now, it doesn't matter. Right now, you are like as safe as we're possibly gonna get with job stacking, because you're just going from one job to two.
So just to expand on that a little bit, in your guide, I mean, you saying to freeze it, do you take off J1, do you take off J2?
No,
I mean,
it's literally just freeze your data. Like it's all in the guide. Like it's not worth it for me to go over here. Like you're gonna see after this one. I'm gonna send you the link to the guide, and you're gonna be able to do it. Okay. In the meantime, yeah, just complete your previous information here. Or sorry, your previous employer's information here. Yeah.
Yeah, and the phone number, I guess I'll leave that blank.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Not off the top of my head, but
Drug testing.
all right, once
Sure. Plus the reporting. Okay.
so
yes.
yeah,
So this is just drug and health screening. Yeah.
yeah, this is pretty typical for
Mhm.
pretty much everyone I've
Mhm.
gone through.
All right.
Oh shoot,
All
I
right.
guess I don't need to do that right now.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah, select, yeah, whatever.
so this is another thing too. They want you to do it within 2 days. So
Just say,
and
just tell them, can you do it or can you not do it?
yeah, I can. I mean, tomorrow's Friday. I probably won't be able to do it Friday. I won't be able to do it till Monday. So that would be, I don't know if it counts today or not, but it
2
does
business days.
disqualify
2
you
business
if you
days.
don't do it within the time frame. So
Yeah.
it's something to.
Yeah.
All right, let me go next.
Mhm. All right. Review your information. Okay. Middle name, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, whatever. Censoring all of this.
Yeah, especially the last.
Previous employee, current employee, blah, I don't know. Yeah, perfect. Employment history, doesn't matter, right? Go back, go back. Choose employer.
Okay.
Yeah, and
This is all
you
good.
can always tell them something like, hey, you know, if they reach back, like you have so many stories that you could tell. Okay. So for instance, suppose that it comes back and they do check your resume, right? Suppose that it does happen, like your number was up. And they tell you, like, we saw on your resume that you have a current employer. Why didn't you include it in the thing? And so you can tell them, I didn't see any option to not contact them. I don't feel comfortable I wasn't feeling comfortable contacting my current employer. So the only option that I could see was to not list it. And that's it. And they go like, oh, okay, that makes sense. That's reasonable, right? Well, everything you need to have nothing's gonna happen. But you can always have stories, right? Like plausible deniability, basically. Like, why didn't you include it? Oh, it's like I didn't see an option to not contact them. Okay.
Yeah, and I did see, I read their FAQs. They did say that you could provide like a W-2, and them contacting HR is kind of a last resort.
Yeah.
So that's something else as well.
Yeah. All right. Hold on. Let's see here. All right. So let's look at the language here. So disclosure on authorization regarding background investigation. So this is the fun part. So it says what are the company, which we are we are censoring, may request from a consumer reporting agency. So again, see how it's bullshit that this is like the government and like this is perjury or something. Like it's a consumer reporting agency, and for employment related purposes, a consumer report. They're only getting they only have access to the information that you provide and information that's publicly available. Containing background check information about you in connection with your employment or application for employment, blah blah blah. We'll prepare and assemble the background reports for the company. See, the background reports may contain information. So this is the key operating word, may contain. Like they're not telling you will contain, it may contain information concerning your character, general reputation, personal characteristics, mode of living, credits. Types of background information that may be obtained include, but are not limited to criminal history, litigation history, motor vehicle. This is what they're looking for. This is just public records, and they're just trying to look that you're not like a terrorist or something, like a crazy guy, okay? And that's it. Like, this has nothing to do with the government. They're telling you right here that they're gonna basically access public records databases and may include whatever all of this is. So this is basically all that they're gonna do. And so they're kind of ripping off employers, right? Like, so background check companies rip off employers because all they do is run an automated search on public records databases and print out a report that, yeah, the guy's not a psycho. Here you go. That's it. All right. This is the full extent of the background check report. If you were like the CEO, the new CTO, the new CFO, some like highfalutin position, then maybe they would go a little bit deeper. But you're just like a dude guy. Like you're just another number. You know the meme of like, oh, you're just a number in a spreadsheet. Well, that applies to here as well, to background checks. They're not going to spend a ton of money looking into your past history. They just want to say that they just want to see that you're not a psycho. All right, and you can also see.
This is the minimum.
By the way, you can also see that it doesn't say anything about perjury, about like you being criminally liable. So that was crazy talk. Like that's when you deal with the government. Like with private corporations, it makes no sense. Okay.
Yeah, and I've done some interviews with like nuclear facilities, and they're like, yeah, it's really expensive background check, and I'm sure that one is way more in depth than something like this.
That's right. All right, let's go. Yeah. All right. Signature.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm certified. I understand. I'm using electronic. Yep.
Okay.
Accept and continue. All right, other disclosure, acknowledgement of authorization regarding background investigation for employment purposes. All right, so this is the same thing, because again, may request an investigative consumer report about you from higher right, a consumer reporting agency in connection with your employment or application for employment engagement. Background report that includes information from personal interviews, except in California. See? Ongoing authorization, the company hires you, the company may obtain additional consumer, whatever, it doesn't matter. Additional state notes, please see the additional state law notices to California. Yeah, so this is different states regulate this stuff differently. All right, so this is just, again, they CYA, they're covering their asses. That's it. Go down, scroll down. Acknowledgements and authorization. I acknowledge that I have received and carefully read and understand the separate disclosure. Yes, okay, and the separate summary rights that have been provided to me by the company. Also acknowledge and I carefully read and understood and understand as applicable the separate. Yeah. This is just like whatever. Scroll down to TOS.
A credit report. What?
Yeah, I understand that the company obtains a credit report about me. See, this is what I tell you. Like that's all they have access to. That's all they can do. All right, so just sign it. Yeah, I understand. May see that it may. This is just telling you like all the things that could appear that they could use, and so you just gotta say like, yeah, okay, cool. And see here, and I understand that this honesty or material omission may disqualify me from consideration for employment. It doesn't say anything that you're gonna go to jail or be accused of perjury. It's just like, oh, it's just gonna cost you the job. That's it.